I'm so much better than majority of you.
And I'm the queen bee, so eat it up and crown it. You're all welcome.
And I got a message from one of my friends saying they don't want anything bad to happen to me. And I get messages like that all the time.
I feel very attacked!
And you are a disrespectful piece of shit.
Illiterate! What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
Hello, little gherkins. The day has come that Destiny has decided to spill just a little tea. She put out a video yesterday where she addresses Amberlynn giving her money and Dana cheating on her. Here are the highlights.
But one of the things I wanted to clear up, I'm not going to clear up everything because there's a lot. One thing that I want to clear up is the money that Amberlynn would give us. So some of the money that she gives us, she hasn't given me money in a very, very long time. Not that I would ask her now anyway, but I can count on a few occasions that we actually asked her for money, and she's never paid, like, our entirety of bills or anything. When me and Dana were together, she, when the pandemic happened and we didn't have a job for a few months, which we had our job, we worked at a daycare, so they shut down daycares for, I think we were out for 4 months, and it was just taking a little while for unemployment to get back in. And I know she vlogged when we came to visit her when that pandemic had first started. Well, we were telling her, our job situation. We weren't saying, oh, we're hard up for cash or anything, because our bills were paid, and our landlord, there's nothing your landlord could do. And when it was the pandemic, there was a lot of, rules that they had to abide by. They couldn't just evict you because you lost your job. We were going to be getting unemployment, and we did the whole time we were out of work. But the first couple of weeks we were worried, because, I heard unemployment can take forever, but with the pandemic and so many people getting unemployed, it went a lot smoother. But we went to see her, and we had just been telling her about our job situation, and she just happened to give us money at that point. I guess she was feeling bad and wanted to make sure we would be okay, but we did not ask her. One of the times we did ask her was when I know that's one thing you guys have talked about, when we moved to Kentucky this last time, when me and Dana moved back to Kentucky from Florida, I had asked her for money, but it wasn't because I didn't have it. It was because we were trying to pay all of our bills the day before we were leaving, because we had a couple due, and we wanted to make sure that the money we were traveling with was money that we had and not bill money. And I just wanted to make sure. And so I tried to pay. I think what happened was me and Dana tried to pay the phone bill at the same time, and for whatever reason it took both of those payments instead of telling one of us that it was paid. So on our phone bill at the time was $400. So that was $800 just gone. And we had already got the U-Haul, I had already filled the U-Haul with gas, my car with gas. My mom was going to be driving the U-Haul, and everything else, I didn't have anything else to pay. All my bills were paid. That was just the one thing we had left to do. And with $800 just being gone, we expected 4 of it, but not the other 4 of it. So our bank accounts were almost shot. We were worried about, what if this happens, what if this happens? So I asked her if she could just give me the money that I lost, basically, and I would pay it back. But she didn't worry about paying her back. So that's how she's always been. She's very thoughtful. I'm not saying I never appreciated it, but the way you guys have been wording it is I know at one point you guys were saying something about she was buying our friendship. She wasn't. Amberlynn is a very giving person. Not that I'm protecting her or anything, because she has her flaws. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just addressing the money thing. I'm not getting into anything else, so don't expect that right now. There will be more, but this is all I'm discussing right now. She is a very giving person. If someone is in need that she is close to, she's going to try and do what she can for their needs. And then I can't really think off the top of my head another time I asked her for money. But she has when Dana's nephew and nieces all needed school clothes, she gave money to us to get them stuff. But that's because when the school year comes around, I don't know if she's still doing this because I don't really talk to her, but when the school year comes around, she feels bad for kids that don't have, their parents don't have enough money to make sure they have all the school stuff that they need, or school clothes or whatever. I know that one year when we were here in Florida, she helped our friend's daughter. She helped them get school clothes for her. And then, I don't know, just when we were hanging out, obviously she would try and pay for everything, but we definitely did try to pay our part when we could. Sometimes we couldn't. So yeah, she wasn't really buying our friendship, though. We try to do things Amberlynn's kind of extra. She likes to do all kinds of stuff all the time when she's with a bunch of people. And sometimes we'd be well, we don't have it. And, she would just be I got it. So other than that, I don't really ever remember asking her too much for money. Like I said, it was maybe a couple times. And that's the only time I really remember for sure asking her and her giving it to us. Because I think there was a couple of times I was worried about something and asked her and then figured it out instead. But, I don't know if she's going to come back at this video and be ooh, no, it was this, and this. I don't really care. I'm not here for the drama part of this. I know that you guys are wanting to know some of this, and I want you guys to know my side of this because there's two sides to every story, you know? Another thing I would like to address myself is what happened with me and Dana. Dana had cheated on me a few times within a year, so it was multiple times. It wasn't physical, not that you guys need to know that, but she was texting other people and just saying what she said. I'm not going to go into details on that. But we both were grieving our mothers, and grief can change a person is really what I've came to in the past year, reflecting on everything that happened between us. I mean, we both lost our mother in a matter of 4 months, 5 months, and grief really changes you. And when it was happening it was after her mom had passed, and we knew my mom wasn't going to make it much longer, not too long after her mom passed. I want to say it was like a month and a half, and we found out my mom wasn't going to be around much longer. So after I found that out, I was struggling really badly with anxiety, and I was having panic attacks pretty much daily. A lot of stuff was just going on with me, and that was a lot to put on her, but I didn't know how to cope. I haven't ever lost anyone that close to me before. But, you know, just the stress of us both losing our moms. I gained a lot of anxiety. She already had anxiety, but I feel like it was more her depression was getting to her. I'm not going to get that into her stuff. It was just a lot going on, and then dealing with just everyday stress on top of these bigger stress things. I guess people cope in different ways. Me, I was really trying to, I guess, take care of my anxiety and my depression, all that on my own. I don't know, I guess Dana found another way to cope because it was New Year's when I found out the first time that she was cheating on me. I'm not going to go into detail of how I found out what all happened, but it was literally, and New Year's Eve is my mom's birthday. So it was just a really stressful 2 days because it was my mom's birthday, and then the very next day I found that out. And it was just it was very dark for me. And I really thought it was over then. And this was January of 2021. So there's that. Then we talked a lot of it through, all that, fixed it, what have you. Worked on some stuff for a little while, and then I want to say it was the end of May, beginning of June that I found out she cheated on me again. Every time I found out she was cheating on me, it was her literally telling me. So I wasn't like creeping in her stuff or just getting like assumptions that she was doing it. You know, like I wasn't all up in her business trying to figure out what she was doing. Even after the first time I found out she cheated on me, I wasn't like, well, I need to check your phone now because I don't want you to cheat on me. No. Like I just, you know, just went about like we were before. I didn't want, you know, things to get really tense between us. So like I said, it was the end of May, beginning of June that I found out again. And then that's also when we moved in with her dad. We moved in with him, and then I thought things were really good for a while. And they were. It seemed like it. Like, things were awesome until, let me see, I don't think it was till December. So June to December, that's like 6 months. The beginning of December, that's really when we broke up. I'm going to be honest. That's when we both said it was over. But she explained that she was cheating on me again. And, that's when I was like, okay, obviously, it doesn't matter how good things can get. It doesn't matter how much talking we do. It, you know, obviously, you know, there's nothing that's going to fix this. You're not going to stop, you know, and I can't keep putting myself through this. And then we were both kind of like, well, what if because we worked together, we lived together, we did literally everything together. So I was like, what if we're broken up, but still like work on things, but also give each other some space? Because pretty much since we got together, we lived together, did like work together, lived together, everything together. So I said, why don't we give each other some space and just do our own things on the weekends? We still had to work together, and I still had to drive her to work. She did not have her license. So that's what we did. We did for the next month or so. And then I thought things were getting a little bit better. We had a rough couple of days the day before, like it really ended. And like we announced that it ended, or, you know, posted things, whatever. We had a rough couple of days. I don't even remember. I couldn't tell you what any of the arguments were about. And then one day, I mean, I was literally just sitting there on the couch. I think I was playing Mortal Kombat. I think we were quarantined for COVID for something. Like, I think we got exposed, or maybe one of us had it. I don't know. So after she texted me and told me that I needed to leave, it was a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to say what all it said. I went and got as much of my stuff as I could in our room, and I got Carter, and I went to my best friend's house, who was like 20, 30 minutes away. And she just told me to go stay there for the weekend. So that's what I thought this was going to be. It was just, we had been arguing a couple days. I needed to just give her some space. Like, and once the weekend was over, we would figure out splitting stuff up, whatever, you know, and finally just having this done and over with. And I was completely okay with that. I mean, I was very upset. I mean, I was, but I was okay with doing things like adults too. I mean, it sucked. You think you're going to spend your whole life with somebody, and then something like this happens, but even if you're so upset, you have to figure out, you got to deal with it. And that's what I was prepared to do. I was very upset though, as anyone would be. I mean, we were together for basically 5 years. So, I mean, that's a lot to just like end everything and all that. So I went to my best friend's house and I asked her, because it was supposed to snow really bad. I asked her, hey, you know, I don't want to get stuck here. So what are you doing on Sunday? So that way we can figure this stuff out. And she told me she was going to be at her friend's house, which wasn't very far from my best friend's house where I was already staying. So I said, okay, cool. So whenever you're ready, I'll come get you and then we'll go and figure this out. Well, Sunday comes, which that was Saturday. So it was just the next day. And I text her and ask her when, you know, can I come get you? And she just was ignoring me for a little while. And we still had each other's location. So I'm not gonna lie, I was being kind of nosy, just trying to figure out if she was there, and if she wasn't, I mean, so be it. I just needed to figure out when we were trying to figure all this stuff out. So I get to looking, and she's on her way. She's like way past me, almost out of the state into Ohio. She's on her way to Ohio, and she basically tells me that she's going up there to spend time with family, and that she'll probably be back in like a week. And I'm thinking like, okay, you know, like, I was very upset. I was like, why are you making this worse on me? So that put everything off for a week. I stayed with my friend, like I said, my best friend, for a week. And then the following weekend is when she was supposed to be coming back. And that's when she basically told me that, because I wasn't sure how she was going to get back here. She rode up there with a friend. I told her that if I had to, I would come get her so we could, you know, sort this stuff out. I was still trying to be civil. And that's when she basically told me that she wasn't coming back, that she wasn't sure when she would ever be coming back or if she was. So that obviously made me very upset because, first of all, we had a storage shed we had to go through together. We had to figure out all this. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I just had to figure out on my own for two people, basically. So I ended up going with some of our friends to the storage unit. They helped me go through it and I got what I needed to. And I went to her dad's house, got what I needed to, and said my goodbyes to him. And then me and Carter packed up and we came here. And we've been here ever since.
A few hours after this video, Destiny posted this to her community tab. Looks like Amber is trying to control what Destiny talks about on her channel. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Let me tell you right now, I hate food more than anything.
Ask me how I'm doing. I'm standing here in utter shock.
Goodbye.